stopping the recording. Okay. So now what I'm doing here is got some promotion. So now I want to change from Oracle administrator to senior administrator. Okay, senior admin HYD site. Okay, so like this, if you want to change the information, you can use comment. I want to change the comment usermode -c. Okay, and provide your comment and provide your user name. What is the username? You already have changed that username. So that now let's see this. Ankit is changed from Oracle admin to senior admin. Okay, if you want to change your shell, okay, already has CSH, right? Okay, so now you migrated from CSH to bash. So if you want to change this, two ways you can do that. So one thing here it is, you can edit the /etc/password file. Okay, another one is using this usermode command, you can change it, but most recommended way is use the command only. Do not edit the configuration file if you already have the commands, right? Why you want to go with mess up the files? Sometimes you, instead of editing the one user line, if you edit the another user line, so that user configuration will change. Okay, so we already have the commands, that's why we always go with the usermod, okay, -s. So now it has bin csh, right? So now I am changing is shell to bin bash and provide is username. Now -s is the option to change the shell. Okay, let's see here. Let's change from bin csh to bin bash. Okay, yeah, user prompt, like, yeah, csh is comfortable for whenever you are writing some C language queries, or you are familiar working with the C language. Okay, but now I'm not writing the C language code, or I'm not working with the C language project. So I want to change from that to normal bash prompt. Okay, because whatever the like strings, see, if you did not find the major change on the both the shells, okay, csh and bin bash are the csh, almost looks like same, are the what are the commands you execute here and there, it will work. But the thing here it is, if you use a C language operators or the C language commands, sometimes like the C language coding, the C language code, if you execute on the bin bash, will not work. Okay, or few of the bin bash coding methods or the coding, I can simply say that if you in C language, if you use the equal, like in the sense double equal to, you use for any comparison the numbers, but whereas the same syntax will not work on the bin bash. We use -eq here, the same -eq will not work on the csh. We will use equal to on the csh. Okay, like that, the little bit few difference are there. So the shell execution and the few of the parameters and the inbuilt parameters will change compared to the that environment and the bin bash environment. Okay, but most of the Linux commands will work. So I cannot say that difference between the both it's like 95% something like that. Okay, most looks like same, all the commands, the normal commands will be execute on the that bin bash and csh will be same. Okay, few of the changes only will be changed on the this. So now I have migrated from csh to bin bash. So when the user was logged into the Ankit, he was loading with the csh prompt. Now he load with the bin bash prompt. Okay, that's what the prompt, in the sense whatever the prompt you configured on the ps1 variable. So the environment variable we already see on the second class, right? That echo ps dollar $ps1, that prompt, how you configured that will be shown on the prompt. You, if you are in the CSH, or if you are in the bin bash, or if you are into the different shell prompt. Okay, so whatever the environment you want, like this shell, as per your convenient, you can change it, right? So now what I did here, it is user mode -s and change the shell. Okay, so here I will tell you the all the options. You can just simply use it. What are the syntax, I can just tell you. Okay, you can execute and practice. Okay, you can let me know if you get any questions on this. Okay, so user mode -c for changing the comment. Okay, -c. User mode -s for changing the shell prompt. Okay, user mode -d, okay, to modify the home path directory. In the sense, whatever the directory we already has, so like /home /username, right? But now I wanted to migrate from /home to /different path. Then you change it to the different path using the user mode -d option. Okay, we also have the option to change the expiry date of the user. So we already used the change command, right? Okay, using this, okay, account expiry option also can be changed using the user mode -e. We can change the expiry. Yes, tell me. You have one product. Okay, 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 okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yes, correct. Okay, so this user expiry date, in the sense, like suppose say, when employee, we already like the employees cannot be all the, like I can simply say that all the organizations, they not hire the permanent positions. Okay, they will hire few of the temporary people for the particular project, right? But whatever the server resources they are using, the servers are permanent for us, right? As per the project, we cannot change the servers, right? If they come and work and they go, but our server data will be on the same, it will be on the same, located on the same server only. But we wanted to give the temporary access to the users, like who comes for the contract based jobs, or the only for the particular project based jobs, or they take some support for a particular period of time. So we wanted to restrict them to expiry for their date of renewal, right? So we cannot remember all the users dates, who this user is going to this date, this user is going to this date, right? So simply we will, whenever your user is creating our user profile, when we are creating on the Linux machine, we just say that, okay, what's this user for? Okay, is this user is for temporary purpose, is this user is for permanent purpose, or this user is only for particular contract, something like that. Then if is only contractor or temporary purpose, what we'll do, whenever you are defining the user profile on the Linux machine, we simply define is expiry date and the login prompt, all the password expiry dates, all the stuff. Okay, and account logout date, all the stuff we will mention on the same day itself. So we don't need to remember that, oh, he is going to end this day, he is going to end this day, something like that. So it's going to automatically end his user account on the particular expiry date. So he only come to you say that, hey, my user account is expired. Then you will simply remember that, okay, your contract is over, that's why login has been expired. Then you get the approval from the whatever the concerned party, then we will renew your login, right? So that is the intention here, to set your expiry date or the password change date, the prompt change date. Okay, that is the expiry date here. -e is the expiry date we can specify. Okay, so sometimes sorry, users are migrated from one primary group to other primary groups, something like we have the normal admin groups, okay, and pseudo admin groups. So sometimes when you join to the organization, you are on a L1 and L2, we only given you the privileges to install the softwares and only configure the users, not to do any root or the super user privileges. Okay, after certain time working on the organization, you got a trust on the next level of the administrator, then they have migrated you to the pseudo admins, which means that you got a super user privileges. Now you already set your user primary group as a admins. Okay, now you have to change to your primary group to the pseudo admin. Okay, now how you can change that using the user mode. Okay, user mode, you can just simply say small g option here and provide your primary group name and username, so that your user primary group will be changed to the different group. Okay, so remember here, always small g is for the primary group change and capital G is for the supplementary group, in the sense secondary group. Okay, so that's what the confusion here. If you, instead of providing the small g, if you provide a capital G, your secondary group will change. Okay, your primary group will not change. Okay, primary group, in the sense your primary privileges will be assigned to your user policies. So whatever the policies has been assigned, or whatever the permissions has been assigned to that group will be assigned to the your user ID. Okay, it is applicable to you. So small, in the sense secondary or supplementary. Supplementary group. Okay, this one, remember, small g primary and capital G is the supplementary group. Okay, so if you want to add any one of the group to a secondary group, in the sense I already have one primary group, I want to add one more secondary group. Okay, you already have one secondary group, you want to add one more secondary group, then you can use usermode -a. Okay, usermode -a and provide your group name and login name. Will add one more secondary group. Okay, so you will be the member of, sorry, I pressed enter. Okay, so you will be the member of one more secondary group. Okay, like that, using the option A. Okay, you can also change your login name. Suppose say my login name is root. Okay, but I want to change Ankit, you are calling. Hello Ankit. Hello Ankit. Hello. Yeah, Ankit. Oh, okay, okay, fine. That's it. So changing the secondary group. Okay, secondary group using the option A. Option A, user mode option small a, and provide your secondary group name and username. So it will add one more secondary group to your user. Okay, and changing the login name in the sense, whenever you are using your login name as Ankit, right, this is your login name. So now I want to change this Ankit to something else. Okay, or else something useful name. Okay, you can use the L, small L option. Okay, small L, small L in the sense changing the login name. User mode small L will change your login name. Like whatever the old name is Ankit, right? I want to change to Ankit 1. Okay, you can do that like this, Ankit and Ankit 1, so that it will change from login name from Ankit to Ankit 1, like this. Sorry, sorry, how to provide first here and like this. So new name and old name. Now if you see Ankit like this, it's a user does not exist, but you have to log in with the Ankit 1. But wherever your profile is same slash users slash Ankit only, because my user login only changed, my user home directory in all the things is as it is. Okay, not stay, login name is only changed. Okay, so if you want to lock your user, in a sense, to lock the user account, whenever I want to lock the user account, unlock the user account, like that, you can use the user mode hyphen capital L to lock your user account. In the sense, your account is locked, you cannot do any activities on your user ID. Okay, sometimes we will find the any user who is doing unnecessary things or the all those stuffs. Okay, if you find any activity which is abnormal in the any privileged user, so we'll do is immediately lock that user account. Okay, that will help us in the security reason sometimes. So sometimes the user password has been uh, uh, like captured by somebody else, and he's log into the machine, is doing something else. Okay, so immediately you find in the log says that okay, this user is doing something miscellaneous or something malicious things, so I can immediately do an a user mode hyphen capital L, then log that user account. Okay, so using this you can log the account. So if you want to use moving the content of the home directory from existing home directory new directory, so you already migrated using the your home directory from like slash home to slash user, or slash users to slash home directory name, but your directory will be changed but content has been not migrated. Okay, it will not automatically migrate your content. So what you have to do is user mode hyphen m and provide your existing home directory path and new home directory path, so that your all the existing content on your old home directory, existing home directory, will be migrated to the new home directory. Okay, a simple user mode capital U, user mode capital U, username, it will be unlocked. Yes. Okay, L will lock, capital U will unlock. Okay, so if you want to change, yeah, that's what the privilege is here, right? See, as of now I am into the root user, so that I can change any user's password or the any user's information here. But if I'm into the if I'm into the normal user or the super user, so I will allocate the commands to the user based on the sudoers file, so that will come to no problem. Maybe 2-3 days classes we will come to the sudoers file how to configure that. Okay, so like that. So these are the options we can use using the user mode. So small u can be changed using the use uid, like user mode small u, and you can change the uid as well. Sometimes you created the user id, like you have segregated your uids based on the, I already told you, like 2000 3000 something series like that. So you created user id on the different platform, like you want to create the Oracle user account, but you created the Agile user account. Then you want to change, you don't want to change entire the user directory, all the stuff, right? Then you simply change uid from that id to the whatever the required id using the user mode small u option. Okay, and provide your uid and provide your login name, will change your uid. Okay, this is the options we already have in the user mode command. Okay, as of now what we did here it is we have just created the user accounts, and we can also configure the user properties based on the using the password aging using the change command. Okay, the minimum password expiry, maximum password expiry, okay, expiry date, and changing the change immediate your password using the option D option. And we can change all the properties of your user modifications using the user mode command, right? So now let's come to the reality is that I have a project. Let's say my projects is upcoming is that in the 2017, like project 1, okay, and one more maybe projects called trail run, something like that. Okay, one more is that DevOps, something like that. Okay, I my projects are like this. Okay, project 1 and trail run project and DevOps project. Now I have maybe 5 to 10 users, like I'm taking 10 users here. Okay, I want to segregate these 10 users, their permissions based on the project requirements. Okay, so what, in the 10 users, few of the users works on the trail project, and few of the users works on the DevOps, and few of the users works on the project 1. In this there are 3 to 4 admins who will be having the permissions to the project 1, okay, trail 1, and the DevOps. Now I want to configure the project requirements as per the group, like project 1 cannot be accessed trail 1 cannot access project 1, or DevOps cannot access project 1, DevOps cannot access trail 1, something like that. So we want to segregate their permissions to their group IDs only, so we don't want to access the each project information from other user, but few of the admins can access the both the information, like project 1, trail 1, and DevOps. So how we can configure these information, or the how we can configure in the real environment? So okay, let's see here. Okay, so what I'm doing here it is I'm creating the directories, okay, as per our conversation what we have set it up here, project 1 and trail 1, sorry, trail okay, one more here it is slash DevOps. So we have created the 3 projects information, okay, 3 directories we have created. So now what we have to do, we have to add the users. So now I want to add the user information here. The project 1 information should start from 2000 user IDs. Okay, the user ID should start from 2000. Okay, and his home directory is also in the slash users. sla- sorry, is home directory slash, okay, I am saying that project 1 user, or we can say p user, something like that. Okay, p user 1. Okay, p user 1. Okay, is UID should start from, so, and comment, we should give the comment here, because we have to understand what is the user. He is from project 1 project member, something like this. Okay, I have created first user. I want to create the second user, and his user ID is 2001, and I can create one more user ID here and 2002. Okay, so we have created the 3 user IDs, but we have wrongly created here. Okay, because we don't want to create is primary group as project 1, project 2, project 3, right? We want to create their primary group should be on the project 1 only, right? P user 1, P user 2, P user 3 groups are does not required for us. We want only to be created like project 1 group name, and that user primary group would be project 1 only, right? So we made a mistake. So what we have to do now, we have to add a group and project 1. Okay, now I have created the group. So now I want to change each primary group, okay, from project 1 to, say, p user 1 to project 1. Okay, so give your group name and provide the username. Okay, now I am changing all these 3 users primary project 1 group. Okay, so now we are going to create a trail group. Okay, group add trail. Okay, now I am going to create a user add hyphen UID. This UID will start from 3000. Okay, and their home directory will be /users /trail1, or else you can use the same user like t user 1 and hyphen c. Okay, trail project member, and his primary group will be trail, right? T user 1. Now what we missed in the previous user adding, we did not mention is primary group name, right? So now what we are going to create here, it is we are creating the user with his primary group account as trail. Okay, trail 1, no, it's trail only. Okay, yeah, t user is username, so t user 2 and t user, yes, tell me. We can create, but these are the parameters, we cannot do it. We can create directly like user add user 1, user 2, user 3, user 4, like this. We can just to provide separated by comma, it will create all the users on the go. UID will take automatically, that's what I am saying. If you want all these parameters, then you have to create one by one, or else you can make one script, okay, to yeah, you can do that on the using the script. So I will provide that script on the in the last sessions, so we have that script as well. Okay, okay, now I am creating the user 2. Okay, so in this group I have only 2 users. Now we have to make admin. See here. So P user 1, P user 2, P user 3 is created, but there is no T user 1, T user 2 group not created, right? See here. Okay, there is no T user 1, T user 2 is created in these groups, right? Why? Because here it is, you can simply see here password file. Okay, sorry. T user. So their primary group ID is 2004. Okay, but later what we did, whenever we created the P user IDs, we created first is primary group, and after that we migrated that users to the primary group as project 1. Okay, let's see P user. See, we migrated these users, right? We created as a primary group as P user 1, P user 2, P user 3 only, but after that we migrated to project 1. But T users we created as is primary groups only, as trial only. We did not created their primary group as T user 1, T user 2, something like that. Okay, so that's why if you see the cat/etc/group, see here, there is no T user 1, T user 2, T user 3, something like that. There is no group has been created. Yeah. 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 Yes. Yeah. Okay. So now we have created three groups. Sorry, three directories, two groups, and 5 users. Now we are going to create one more group. Okay. The group called group add. Okay. So what is that group? Here it is. DevOps. Okay. DevOps are the admins. DevOps are the admins. So these admins should have the permissions to the both the groups. Like they should be in trail and they should be in project 1. Okay. Now what we have to do here, it is user add -uid. These user IDs will start from 1500 because they are the admins. Okay, now their home directory will be on the home directory only, dev1. Okay, like this, and their comment will be system admin, and I'm telling his group ID will be root. No, we cannot add root, so we can create, maybe we can create one more. We already created the group, right? DevOps. Okay, and his ID will be DevOps1. Login name will be DevOps1. Okay, and I have created one user ID, and is 1501 and DevOps2. Okay, so I have created 3 users and 2 users and 2 users. Totally 7 users we have created. Okay, now so let's see here, go to slash and ls-l, type the user, see trail project group. Okay, project directory has the permissions as, okay, user ownership as root and group ownership as root. Okay, listen carefully. Project 1 also has user ownership as root and group ownership also root. Okay, and DevOps also has same. DevOps also has same. But if I log into any of the users, okay, let's say I logged in as a project 1, okay, sorry, p user 1, right, p user 1, okay. If I go to the project 1 directory, so I can able to go here because I have executed executable permissions. That's why I can enter into that directory. But if I want to make any files here, what it is saying? It is saying permission denied. Okay, so what is the intention here? It is project 1 member should have the permissions to the project 1 directory. If they create any files and directories on that project 1 directory, they should have the that properties of the files will be accessible to that group members, right? So what I'm doing here, it is now ch mode, okay, or else we can change the ownership of the file here, okay, like say project 1, I have my ownership is that root and root, right? So now what I'm doing here, it is I'm changing these group permissions from root to project 1. I already have the project 1 membership, right? So now I'm changing ch own, changing the permissions, or else we can change the ch group using the group directory, okay, project 1 slash project 1. Now let's see here, I have changed the group ownership from root to group project 1, okay. But here, see here, permissions for the group has any write permissions here? But there is no write permissions for the group, right? Root has read and write execute, right? But group does not have read and write execute. They have only read and execute, okay. So now what I'm doing here, it is, oh, it's okay. Now I have changed the group permissions here. That's why any group member of this project 1, they can enter into that directory, okay. So what we are, before going to do that, so what I'm doing here, it is I'm changing back again to the root, okay. The permissions for that project 1 directory I have changed back to the root. Now I'm changing the permissions, okay, 770 slash project 1, okay. What I did here, it is I have changed the permissions of the others, okay, in the sense others, in the sense whatever the who are the users are in this machine, they can just enter into the project 1 and they can just to list out the files. So I don't want to see others, I want to see only the members of the group are the owners of the that directory only, okay. Now so I removed the other permissions, change the permissions to root, okay. Let's see what happened to p user 1 if I log in as a p user 1 and change the permission. So if I want to enter into that directory, what it is saying, so as of before, it was just I was going into the directory and I can able to list out the files on that directory. Now what it is saying, you did not have the permission to enter into that directory, okay. Now I'm coming back from here and I'm changing the group ownership to the project 1 slash project 1 directory, okay, and go back to the p user 1 and try to change to the project 1. Now I can able to change, I can able to list out the files. Now I can able to create, okay, test 1, okay. I can able to create the files as well because I have created the full rights, But what it is giving now, whatever the inherent permissions are there on that directory, okay, it is giving the same permissions to the file, what are the file we created, right? Hello, you are understanding? Okay, so what I did here, it is before there is the permissions, okay, I did not tell you the permissions, that's why you little bit confused, okay, don't worry. Because I did not tell you, here it is, we will okay, these are the permissions here currently we have, right? One is rewrite hyphen, okay, so there are hyphen rewrite hyphen read hyphen hyphen read hyphen hyphen, right? Okay, so now forget about this one, first hyphen, okay, so these three is for user permissions, these three is for user permissions, and this three is for group permissions, these three for others. Others in sense, who are the others? None of the others, in the sense who are the users on this machine they can access. Others in the sense, yeah, not the owner, not the group owner, okay, other members, okay, other members in the sense who are there in that system, they can get that permissions, what are the permissions you allocate here, okay. Now what I did here, it is before the directory permission was, okay, ownership is with root and group ownership with root and other has read and execute before. Now what I did, I changed this read and write execution to 0 for others, and I changed this ownership from root to project 1, and I given 7 permission, in sense read write execute, and root also I given read write execute permission, okay, and I logged in as project 1 member, project 1 member in the sense p user 1, okay, as we created p user 1, I logged in as a p user 1 and enter into the project 1 directory, okay, because I have read and write execute permissions for the project 1 group, and so I am the member of that group, I can able to enter into that directory and I can able to create some files on that directory, okay. When I created the files on that directory, what my expectation was, it should allocate the permissions of project 1 member as a group permissions and is UID, in the sense is own permissions for that file. So why this project 1 as a group ownership is required here? Because as a group members, if you are into the project 1 group, if you want to access the files of the group project 1 member, project 1 files, so this permission is required. If this group ownership is root here, or this ownership is p user 1, then p user 2 cannot access this file, right? We are working as a group, we are not working as an individual. So whatever the files I kept on that project directory, it should be accessible by all of my group members, right? Did you get my point? So that's why I created the users, okay, p user 1, okay, p user 2, p user 3 as one group called project 1. So what are the policies I apply to this group, it will be applied to P user 1, P user 2 and P user 3. So I allocated the permission for this project 1 directory, the group membership as project 1. So this, whatever the user has logged in, he get his own UID and he get his own primary group permissions here. Okay, but if this P user member is a different primary group owner, maybe sorry, not if he is a different primary group member, suppose say if I am adding user add -u the 2015, okay, and I am saying P user 4, I am saying P user 4 is maybe home directory will be on/d/users/P user 4. Okay, now what I did here, it is I have created the primary the project 1 member as a P user 4, but I did not added that user as a primary group as project 1. Okay, what I am doing here, it is now user mode add is secondary group as project 1 P user 4. Now he has the permission to project 1 directory. Yes, right? Because we allocated already project 1 directory group ownership as project 1. So this P user 4 is member of project 1. So he has that permissions to this project 1, right? So now just simply observe. So what I am doing here, it is okay. Now switch to this user, okay, P user 4. I'm just simply switching here and go to this project 1. Yes, he is able to go and create test2 file. Okay, he is able to create successfully. Now let's list out the files what it is created. So what is the permissions we are getting? P user 4 and P user 4. What if, okay, that's okay, fine. If I want to access as a P user 1 and I want to go to project 1 directory and list out my permissions here, I want to change test2 file here. So is I can able to change? No, read only permission here. So if I am typing something here, what it is saying, warning, changing the read only file system, you cannot do that. Okay, so this type of errors we don't want, because we are working as a group. What are the files you create, it should be accessible to your group members, right? So then what the permissions you should get? You should get the permissions like this and the permissions like this, read and write you should get for the user and the group members, and we don't bother about the others. If I get others as 0, no problem, but I should get user and group permission should be read and write, and the ownership of the group should be project 1. Okay, so that's why here the permissions we have to add is GID in the sense group identification number. So whatever the UID, as of now we see the UID like 2000, 2001, 2002, something like this, right? but group id we should include to the that directory. Then inherited from that permissions root directory, so whatever the files you create under that directory, it will be automatically added as a group ownership if is not the uh, primary member of that group. Okay, as of now we see two types of user here. One is primary group of project one is secondary group of project one user is primary group member, second user 4 is secondary group member, not primary group member. You got it right? So see, let's simple see p user 4, go to p user 4 and type id. Okay, his primary group is and his secondary group is. Okay, now exit from this user and go to p user 1 and type id. Is primary group as same, because we added these, changed these user properties as primary group as project 1 only. So that's why when I log in with the project p user 1, if I create any files on that project 1 group, project 1 directory, he got the permissions of is uid and is gid. So if I logged in as p user 4 and I got is uid and is gid, is usid is p user 4 and is gid, primary gid is p user 4. So I got same permissions, but I don't want that. I want, if the p user 4 created the files on that project 1 directory, I want to get the permission as project 1 only. Okay, if p user 1 created the files on the directory or copied some files on the directory, I want to get project 1 only as his group ownership. I don't want other permissions, because all the members of project 1 should have the access to that files. What are the files we create under /project 1 directory? Okay, so how we can do that, we can see on the next class.